I seen this crazy story on YouTube. It's about a woman, her ex-boyfriend slaughtered her whole family and a loved one. And I said, I gotta do a reaction video to this because I can kind of relate to what took place in this situation. I had a good friend of mine who lost her life to domestic violence. And before I get into this video, I want to say condolences to all those who lost their life to domestic violence. Now let's get into this video. All right, so in this video, a woman arrives home and she finds out that her ex-boyfriend must have been past her house recently. When she entered her home, her father and her brother was in the house. They also had a loved one there with them that, was renting out a camper in their backyard. However, when she got in the house, she saw some things that looked a little suspicious. And it happened to be her ex-boyfriend keychain with his keys to his vehicle and his pants and his shirt and some of his clothing and his belongings. And it kind of threw her off because she was trying to figure out why was it in her house. She had filed a restraining order, got a protective order against him, and also her father got a protective order against him. So it was weird to see his clothes and his belongings in her house. So it kind of made her, little worried, like curious as to why I was in the house. So what she did was she called the police. And when she called the police, she talked to the operator and let the operator know that, hey, my ex-boyfriend, his belongings in my house, he wasn't supposed to be in here. I believe he's still in my house right now somewhere hiding. And so the operator put her through so much stuff to ask so many questions. I guess she was trying to get the details straight before she sent out a dispatch, before she sent out a patrol unit. And, I understand it's their job or whatever the case may be, but at the same time, man, when somebody's life is in danger, man, we got to speed this process up. So the girl was calm at first, and she was asking her questions like, did anybody see him in the house? And she said no. And then she asked her, did she see him in the house? And she said no. And then she was asking, do you have security cameras? And she said, yeah. She said, well, did you check them? She said, no. She said, but my sister, because it was her sister, her brother, and her father in the house at the time. And like I said, the guy that stayed in the camper behind them, which was one of their close relatives, close friends or whatever. And so she said she's going to check with her sister to see, look at the camera. In the meantime, they having this conversation and commotion break out. And you could hear gunshots in the background or whatever. And the operator asking, like, Jessica, what's going on? What's going on? Like, you can't hear the gunshots? I mean, maybe she couldn't hear the gunshots. Maybe she could. But from the way the video got it labeled, they labeled, the subtitles showing gunshots. So I'm believing that maybe she didn't hear the gunshots. But Jessica started crying immediately. And now she's in fear that he's downstairs killing her whole entire family. And she asked Jessica, where are you? Jessica said, I'm upstairs in the bathroom. I guess she was in the tub or something like that or whatever, trying to be in a safe place or whatever. It's kind of weird how it all played out. Maybe she was using the bathroom and then she decided to call the police. I don't understand it. But anyway, her father and her brother and her sister was in the house already. So once the commotion broke out and everything started taking place, she was just screaming and crying, and the operator kept telling her to calm down, calm down, calm down, calm down. And I understand that, you want to make sure that she stay calm so you can get all the information you possibly can get before you send a car, a patrol car to the house. But at the same time, man, this girl know that they downstairs shooting, and 9 times out of 10, it's her boyfriend, her ex-boyfriend, that's killing her family. And you trying to tell her to be calm. Come on now. and she's a woman. The operator's a woman, and she's telling another woman to be calm. Like, come on now. So it kind of worked my nerves because I'm sitting over here and I'm saying to myself, like, why are you? When are you going to send a patrol car? Like, that should have been one of the first things you did. Like, you send one, and I know, protocol, you probably got to make sure that the call is legit and it's not a prank call or whatever. But once she started crying and stuff, it should have been a patrol car already on the way. It should have been a unit. Then when you heard the gunshots, you could have sent more units. But at the same time, I feel like the operator, although they were doing their job, they could have done better. And then she started telling her, Jessica, lay on your stomach, get low to the ground and lay on your stomach. And I'm assuming, because the operator asked her, is the bullets coming from outside or inside the house? And she said she didn't know. And so I guess that's why she was telling her to get on the ground to stay low. So the bullets, you want to get low if you're in a situation where somebody's shooting at your house or whatever. So I guess she was doing the best she could do. But at the same time, the issue was he was going through her family one by one. Her father, her brother, her sister. She didn't have time to chill. She didn't have time to be calm. What I would have told her was, be quiet, be as quiet as possible. If you can be as quiet as possible, try to give details because I'm trying to help your family. She later then asked for the address, okay? And that would have been one of the first things I asked for. Now, if you already had it through, I guess they tracked the phone or whatever, then so big, because I don't think she ever told the address unless they cut it up that way to make it seem like she never told the address. But if that would have been one of the first things I asked, what's the address? Hold up, you said that your ex-boyfriend was in the house. Okay, so can you give us a description of him, so we know what to look for once we arrive to the scene or whatever the case may be? Asking all these type of questions so that way they can know what to do once the time comes when they get there. So the guy makes it upstairs to the bathroom, trying to get in the door, and he yelling, Jessica, open the door. And she won't even open the door because she like, if in her mind, if I open the door, he gonna shoot me. But whole time, if he wanted to shoot her, he could shoot through the door. But we come to find out, he ran out of bullets. So he telling her, Jessica, I ran out of bullets. Come out here and talk to me. She's saying no. And she just crying and screaming or whatever, right? So I'm guessing he must have took off running or whatever the case may be because he couldn't get in the bathroom. But somehow she made it outside. The police car arrived, and the police car, the officer was asking her, what's going on? And she was saying, he killed my family. And she was all over the place because, she just seen her she witnessed the whole family getting slaughtered while she was upstairs in the bathroom, and she really couldn't do nothing about it. Now, I know some people going to say, well, I would have just went out there. We'd have had to jump them or whatever. Until you in that situation, you don't know what's going to take place. What I would have said was in the beginning, like, this is it, ladies, fellas, whatever the case may be, whoever you are, if you ever in this situation, you come home, you see something in your house that's not supposed to be in your house. If you see something in your house that's not supposed to be in your house, that don't belong at your house, especially if it's a person that you got a restraining order against and their belongings is in your house and you know it's no way possible they could have gotten your house because no one gave them the authorization to go in your house. Your father, your sister, your brother, or you. Get your weapon immediately and get out the house. Or if you're going to sweep the house, Pops should have, hey, let me tell my kids, y'all get on up out of here. Y'all go outside. Call 911. Y'all go outside. I'm about to sweep this house with my pistol. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to make sure that I'm going to secure the house and make sure that he's not in here. And if I do a light sweep and I don't see him, I'm still leaving the house. I'm going outside. We're going to sit outside until the police come just to make sure that if he's in this house, he can stand there till the police come. You feel me? Because I'm trying to protect my family. Now, I don't know what happened or what took place or whatever. I'm just going off the video and what I just watched. Okay. So, long story short, when the police got there, he took off. They was trying to find him. They couldn't find him, whatever the case may be. So months went by, and then they finally got a hold of him, whatever the case may be, and then they had sentenced him, whatever the case may be. Now, how does this story relate to me? This story relates to me because I once had a friend who got killed by her baby daddy. And, you know, we was good friends. We used to date when we didn't date. You know, we was just too young. We was young friends or whatever. We was young and dating around 14, 15 years old. We was younger. And, you know, for whatever reason, it didn't work out. You know, it was a long distance relationship, and we were young. We were just young kids. So, anyway, when we separated, we became the best of friends or whatever. And we always kept in touch, and we always gave each other advice about relationships because, you know, I would tell her about the girl I was dating, and she'll tell me, you know, the real deal on, you know, something what to look for, whatever the case may be. And I do the same when it comes to the men that she was dating. However, she, you know, although she was a great girl, you know, she hard-headed. She was hard-headed. May she rest in peace. She started dating this guy, and they happened to have a child, beautiful son. They happened to have a beautiful son. And while they were dating or whatever, everything was cool. You know, of course, things slowed down with us, whatever the case may be. He probably thought that I was trying to talk to her, whatever the case may be. But I was in a relationship myself. And like I said, that was a young situation. We stopped talking 3 years, you know, prior to this whole situation. So, anyway, her and the guy, his name Jamil, right? His name Jamil. Her and Jamil, they separated, right? For whatever reason, I don't know. I don't even remember what it was, the reason why they separated. But he was very controlling, and he was aggressive about her. You know, he was one of the ones that was like a crash out, okay? He seemed like a crash out. And I used to tell her all the time, like, don't play with this guy. Don't play with it. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm the best friend. I'm miles and miles away, long distance relationship, and I can't protect her. So I'm just trying to give her advice on what I think she should do. So, mind you, she started dating some other guy. She know she was doing whatever she wanted to do, whatever. You know, they had their kid or whatever. They had their differences or whatever, but he would always play with her jokingly, you know what I'm saying, act like he'll if he can't have her, nobody else can have her type situation. Like he was so hooked on her, and she you know, shrugged it off, and you know, she laughed at it. I used to tell her, stop playing around with it. Don't play around with it. It's people out here that's crazy in this world. Now, me and her, neither one of us thought that would happen. You know, I really, even though I was giving her advice, I thought I was being overprotective. And I later found out that I wasn't overprotective. It was actually a good thing to give her that advice. So something had went down or whatever. I guess they got into a fight or something like that, but she had to go file a restraining order on him, right? And I was on the phone with her while she was on the way to do it. So she went to go file the restraining order or whatever. Now, as she was leaving, she had just bought a car, I think a couple days before she had filed the restraining order, something like that. Now, this is a minute ago, so I'm trying to remember these events as they occurred. So she went to the police station, filed a police report, and, you know, the restraining order ain't everything. You know, just because you get a restraining order on somebody, that don't mean that they can't put hands on you and they can't harm you. I'm going to say that again. Just because you get a restraining order don't mean that they can't put hands on you and harm you. Now, if they got like they can't be within 100 feet of you type situation, if there's no police officer there on the site, on the scene, then your life could be taken away from you. So you still need to be on your P's and Q's to understand I may have to fend for myself because the police won't be there in time if the guy was to go crazy or the woman was to go crazy, because this happened. Domestic violence is real. Okay, women will kill a man and a man will kill a woman. Human beings, period. So as she was leaving the police station, getting the restraining order, he tried to run off the road. And she told the police about it. And she said she had went back and told the police, and they laughed at her. And I don't believe they laughed at her. She probably was being dramatic, but that's what she was saying. Like, they didn't care. Like, because he kept going or whatever, and I guess they were trying to make it seem like they didn't think it was him or whatever, but she had her son with her. So, and I was like, damn, he'll do that, even though, you know, you had your son, y'all son with her, you know, with you. And she was like, yeah, he crazy. He think it's a game. He let him try it again, right? Like, she was aggressive, and she, you know, she liked to fight or whatever case may be. So she wasn't intimidated by this guy. But at the same time, in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, you think it's a game? It might not be a game. This might not be something we can come back to and he ha ha about. So I was always worried and concerned to make sure that she was straight. But the last thing that came to my mind was he would actually follow through with the situation. So fast forward, the day had came where I had got a phone call and I was told that she was killed. And whoo, it hit me in some type of way, because when I got the information, you know, when they said, oh, well, you know, she was killed, and this came from her uncle, you know, with her aunt husband, should I say, her aunt. I was cool with her cousins. That's how we met. She used to come down over the summer, and around the neighborhood I was living in, and we, you know, boyfriend and girlfriend for the summertime situation. Then they go back during the school season or whatever the case may be. You know how it is when you're young. But I was still cool with them, and I'm still cool with them to this day. So he had let me know, because he knew I was gonna care, you know. And I haven't heard from her in a few weeks. So I'm like, you know, maybe we'll catch back up, or she'll send me a letter, or, you know, she'll call or whatever the case may be, and we'll chop it up, you know what I'm saying? Like always, we always catch up. And when he had told me that, I'm like, what? And I said, who did it? He said, Jamil. That's her baby daddy name, her baby father name. And I said, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. He killed her grandfather, and shot her little brother, and almost killed her grandmother. I had to pause for a second and get myself together. And I asked him, I said, so what happened? From what I remember, he was saying he showed up to the house, and I guess, you know, her and her baby father had got into it, and, you know, they was going back and forth or whatever, and he would try. I guess he was telling her, you know, if I can't have you, nobody can't have you. The same thing he said early on, but only this time he pulled out a gun. And of course, her being her, you know, she like, you know, you ain't gonna use it. You better put that away type situation. Like, get away from my house. Like, she not thinking, you know, call the police right then. And like I said, she not intimidated about it. Like, she was about that. Like, you know, she wasn't no little scaredy cat. So she was, you know, get away from my house, get away from my family type situation. And she didn't think he would do nothing like that because their son was there. You know, she didn't think that he would do nothing like that. So he shoots her, and then he shoots her or whatever the case may be. When he shot her, her grandfather and her little brother tried to fight him. Now, he slaughtered her grandfather, right? And her little brother tried to take his chance to fight him, you know what I'm saying? Little homie, he was about that too. He was younger though. So at the same time, he you know, he gonna fight for his family. That's how they was raised, you know. But he shot him in the stomach too. And while Tashima was bleeding out, that was her name, Tashima or whatever. While she was bleeding out, he went over top of her and shot her again. And before he shot her for the third time, if I'm not mistaken, her grandmother was screaming, Jamel, please don't take her life. Why are you doing this? Please don't do this. And he shot her again. And it was devastating. I mean, I still think about it this day. You know what I'm saying? May she rest in peace. And I said that to say this. Ladies, fellas, don't play about domestic violence. It is a real thing. If a man put his hands on you, get out of there. That's not a sign of love, okay? And I know it's easier said than done, but protect yourself at all times. It's not worth it. It's not worth losing your life over an abusive relationship. If guy's showing signs that he'll harm you, take him serious. Don't take him for a joke. Don't take him for a joke. Because dudes out here crashing out day in, day out. Women too. Women too. And I know, you know, us guys, we feel like we definitely aren't threatened by a young lady or whatever. But some of these women out here crash out, man. So protect yourself, man. And, you know, be wise in these situations. Like I said, if you want to see this video, and, you know, because I really don't want to play it for real, because I don't want to get no copyright strikes or anything. But it says here, a woman finds out her boyfriend killed her entire family. It's about 35 minutes long. Shout out to Beyond Evil. I am about to subscribe to your channel and catch up on some more of these cases, because I don't know why I'm so intrigued. I just started watching not too long ago, but yeah, so you got me hooked. But this one stuck out the most because this is something I could relate to and that I've experienced. I had a close friend that lost her life in this situation. So I'm just encouraging women, men, especially my sisters, please be careful. Please be careful. Do not allow a man to put his hands on you, to threaten you, to play with those. He should not utter those words. I'll kill you, I'll hurt you, or I'll slap you, or nah, we don't want none of that. And I know some situations where women feel like, yeah, I get my brother, I get my father, I get my such and such, or we gonna, yeah, nah. Don't put the next man's life in danger either. Separate yourself from that guy. And I know they say keep things from family or whatever the case may be. Keep your family out your relationship. If a man putting his hands on you, your family members need to know. Somebody need to know. You never know when it's gonna be your last time he put his hands on you. Take it serious, ladies and gentlemen. That's gonna do it for me on this story time situation. I had to get this one out right here, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. We finna do a lot of these right here. I got so many stories to tell, man. This one right here just kind of like triggered it all and started it. So let's get it, man. Make sure y'all subscribe, like the channel, share this video. Yeah, and take a look. Don't forget, go on over to Beyond Evil. Subscribe to his channel as well. He got a 1,000,004 subscribers. 1.4 million subscribers. So, I mean, he's still good. You know, I could use the help more, but at the same time, I'm showing him love because the video came from him and that kind of sparked me to talk about this. So, yeah, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I appreciate y'all, and I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. And, oh, before I go, condolences to the family who lost their lives, those who lost their lives to domestic violence, especially this young lady, family member. She lost her sister, her brother, and her father, and a close friend to the family. And, you know, I told you about my situation, how one of my ex-best friends, and she had lost her life, her grandfather, and her brother got shot. He's still alive and well. And, you know, anybody that lost their life to domestic violence, my condolences to you and the family.